Thanks for tuning in again. Susan here, obviously. It's 3 o'clock on the 4th of November 2024. That's UK time, obviously. Um, I'm glad something has occurred to me to do the video of today because I really wanted to thank all the people who commented on the protection video that I did, the last protection video I did last week. Um, I'm sure it'll help a lot of people who are suffering to see so many comments from other people who have also had what they consider an attack. And really, if we keep quiet about these things, then other folk think that they're on their own and they don't understand it. Whereas if when we speak up like that, it helps to support others who are going through it and understand it, and helps them to realise that they do have the power within themselves to say, no, I'm not having this. You're not getting me. You're not getting my soul. You're not getting my energy. So I really want to thank everybody who's viewed it, everybody who's commented, and obviously those of you who have subscribed. Don't be afraid to subscribe because this is not a monetized channel. I make nothing of it. It's just to try and help and support and give some uh, uh, discussion points, if you like, to other people to look at things. So that being said, I won't go over the top with that, but I do say many, many thanks to all of you. But I wanted to talk today about something that occurred the other day. I've been up visiting over the last few days, and something occurred which made me think. And I know that I've spoken about triggers on a previous video, and anybody wants to recap on that can go back and have a look at a previous video that I did called Triggers. But it's triggers that I want to talk about again today, and I think it's necessary because the situation that I saw when I was away was it just let me see how easy it is to be triggered and to trigger others. And what happened was we were sitting. It was only friends and family of ours. There was nobody else there. Sitting outside a woodland cafe in the Highlands of Scotland. Um, it was really quiet. It wasn't a weekend. There was, as I say, it was only friends and family that were there. And one of the women had an 8-month-old baby with her. I was beginning to get a bit gurney and tired, so of course she lifted her jersey and started to feed. Um, Very discreetly, nobody would have noticed, quieting down the baby. Everybody else round about her kept chatting until one of the party went, "Is that a boob?" And she went, "Yeah, I'm feeding him." "I don't want to see that. I'm away for a walk." And she looked at me and said, "I thought I was doing it discreetly." And I said, "You were." I said, "But don't worry, that's his trigger, not yours. Let him deal with it." But what occurred to me that because of his reaction, she took that was a trigger to her. So one person's trigger sets off another person's trigger, and it's hard for us to realize that's their trigger. It's not my trigger, and I'm not going to allow their trigger to trigger in me. Because there is nothing in this world that should stop a mother feeding a baby. Absolutely nothing. It's the most natural thing. They're not getting all that um, nonsense and pre-prepared. There's no saying what's in boxed milk. I know. I'm well aware. At times I had problems myself, so I know that there are times that it can't happen, and we have to resort to dried milk products. I'm well aware of that, and I don't condemn anybody who has to turn to that by any manner of means. But best for the mother, best for the baby, if at all possible, is to feed them themselves. And nobody should make them feel bad or guilty about it. Even if she had whipped her top off in the middle of a field, in the middle of a cafe, and done it, nobody should make her feel bad about it. But as it was very discreet. Somebody else's trigger. "I don't want to see that. I'm away." And it made her feel bad. So all I'm saying is that for each of us, we need to try and think our trigger, what's somebody else's trigger. Don't let their trigger something in you. If you know that you're doing something um, with compassion, with kindness, somebody else's reaction should never make you feel bad about it. Um, and I think because of what has been happening recently with children, we hold back from supporting a child, for instance, um, in the street who's been hurt or lost or anxious. We hold back because we don't want to be blamed with all the bad stories that are going about. And I remember when I worked as a TA in a school, and there was a chap who was a bit emotionally unstable, had some learning difficulties, had got, oh, shall I say, overexcited. I won't go into too much detail because it's not fair, but was really in an emotional strop, and got him out of the classroom, out of the situation that had got him into that state in the first place. He was still hyper, sobbing. This is a primary school, so he would be aged 9 or 10 at the time, and I hugged him because it was the only thing I could think of doing. This is just a few years ago. I felt as if I was a school granny, but I hugged him. And then one of the senior teachers with pastoral care responsibilities came up and helped. And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I realise um, I shouldn't have hugged him." And she said, "No." She said, "You did what was needed to be done in the circumstances, and you did it in the open, not behind closed doors or anything." Um, so, there are times when people need support and we all hold back because of triggers. So, all I'm trying to say is, oh, I've just seen, no, that side, another light, um, another orb, just go. I find it difficult here. Go down there. I've yet to find out what these are. So, yes, don't allow somebody else's trigger to trigger you. If you're working through compassion, kindness, and high frequency, um, knowing that you're doing no harm, if they have a trigger in that, don't let it trigger you. Keep your frequency up, keep doing well, keep up the levels of compassion, because by jings, we need more compassion out there. And remember, every time we raise our frequency, it spreads out. So that was my wee rant for the day. It wasn't a rant. And yet again, I will thank anybody who has watched this, and I hope that that helps you to think in your interactions with others. Um, Keep doing what you know best. Keep working with compassion and love. And I'll say bye bye to you just now. Live, love, most of all, be happy. Thank you. See you next time. Bye bye.